I admire your courage, Miss...
Trench. Sylvia Trench. I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
My name's Bond. James Bond.
My name's Bond. James Bond.
Bond. James Bond.
Name's Bond. James Bond.
Bond. James Bond.
Over the years, it's been theorized, mainly by casual fans of the series or newcomers to the franchise, that James Bond is a codename. But we'll be going through 50 years of James Bond movie history to see why James Bond is not a codename.
This never happened to the other fella.
That line is used by some people as evidence that James Bond is a codename, but then the rest of the movie and the rest of the franchise shows that he is the same man despite the different actors playing him. We'll start with the main piece of evidence, which is his wife.
Contessa Teresa.
Teresa was a saint. I'm known as Tracy.
Well, Tracy, next time play it safe and stand on 5. There's no hurry, you see. We have all the time in the world.
After James Bond, played by George Lazenby, has his wife killed in On Emergency Secret Service by Blofeld, Sean Connery returns as James Bond to enact revenge on Blofeld for killing his wife. This is evidence that James Bond is the same man.
Hit me. One chance. Where can I find him?
Molly? Ask Molly?
There is something I'd like you to get off your chest. Where is Ernst Stavro Blofeld?
But married only once. Wife killed.
All right, you've made your point.
You're sensitive, Mr. Bond.
About certain things, yes.
Roger Moore's James Bond visits the grave of Teresa Bond, which is further evidence that he is the same man as the previous James Bond.
Mr. Bond. Mr. Bond.
Blofeld also knows to tag James Bond at the site of his wife's grave.
I intend to enjoy it to the full.
You know the tradition? The next one who catches this is the next one who...
No. Thanks, Stella. It's time I left.
I see something wrong?
He was married once, but it was a long time ago.
Did I get too close for comfort?
Yes.
Have you ever lost a loved one, Mr. Bond?
M sent me because we're afraid your life might be in danger.
The opening credits to On Her Majesty's Secret Service also goes through a whole flashback sequence to connect the James Bond movies together. James Bond, played by George Lazenby, has a scene where he goes through the memories experienced by Sean Connery's James Bond in the previous movies. This wouldn't really make sense if they were a different man. Next, we have a connection between Sean Connery's James Bond and Roger Moore's James Bond.
This is Quarrel. He's been helping me. No hard feelings, I hope.
Only a sore hand. Glad to know you, Mr. Bond.
As I was saying, Quarrel, a lousy agent, but the compensations speak for themselves. Rosie Carver, meet the man who shares my hairbrush. Quarrel Jr.
Moneypenny is a character that has gone through a few different actresses. It wouldn't really make sense if James Bond and Moneypenny were both codenames and each new Moneypenny happens to be attracted to the agent that takes over as James Bond.
Heartless brute, letting me pine away without even a postcard.
Pine no more. Cocktails at my place. 80s, just the two of us.
Oh, I'd adore that. If only I could trust myself.
Same old Moneypenny. Britain's last line of defense.
What's going to get around to that?
Well, you'd better go in. M's on leave, and the minister's arrived here with the chief of staff and wants to see you immediately.
I didn't know you were such a music lover, James. Anytime you want to drop by and listen to my Barry Manilow collection.
I did, sir. I thought you'd be worried about James. He's gone missing.
You know him better than that. He'll go after Sanchez. He's got to be stopped.
We also see that Moneypenny has a strong emotional reaction to James Bond,
Yes, sir.
shares a long history with him, and even has a sexual simulation with him.
Q branch, please.
Oh, Moneypenny. The story of our relationship. Close, but no cigar.
Moneypenny?
I was, just testing it out.
That's rather hard, isn't it?
Yes. Very.
Felix Leiter, Central Intelligence Agency. You must be James Bond.
Felix Leiter is also another character that has gone through several actors, but each Felix and James recognize each other immediately.
How do you do? This way, gentlemen.
Well, well, well. Felix Leiter, you old fraud.
What the hell are you trying to do, 007? Start World War III?
Felix Leiter. Now, what's the CIA doing here?
Mr. Leiter for you, sir.
Thank you. Hello, Felix. How are you?
When James Bond goes rogue on a revenge mission, the actor for Felix in Live and Let Die is brought back to connect the James Bond actors as the same man.
Felix, if you're right, hang on.
I owe it to Leiter. He's put his life on the line for me many times.
Oh, spare me this sentimental rubbish. He knew the risks. This private vendetta of yours could easily compromise Her Majesty's government. You have an assignment, and I expect you to carry it out objectively and professionally.
Then you have my resignation, sir.
Don't you want to know why?
Felix Leiter is reintroduced in the rebooted timeline in the movie Casino Royale.
Sorry, I should have introduced myself, seeing as we're related. Felix Leiter, a brother from Langley.
Q is a character played by the same actor that connects the Sean Connery James Bond all the way to the Pierce Brosnan James Bond.
You're not retiring anytime soon. Are you?
Now pay attention, 007. I've always tried to teach you two things. First, never let them see you bleed.
And the second?
Always have an escape plan.
Q is reintroduced in Skyfall.
Q. 007.
The Sean Connery James Bond and Roger Moore James Bond are connected through Cambridge.
You forget I took a first in Oriental languages at Cambridge.
James Bond, what a delightful surprise after all these years. Do sit down, my dear fellow. Thank you. I always wondered what you were going to do when you went down from Cambridge.
George Lazenby's James Bond and Pierce Brosnan's James Bond are connected through the same family motto.
Good motto, eh? The world is not enough.
The world is not enough.
Foolish sentiment.
Family motto.
Sean Connery's James Bond and Pierce Brosnan's James Bond are connected through the jetpack.
Does this still work?
As for why James Bond would use his real name, well, he's a cocky character as shown in Casino Royale.
James Bond. You'll find the reservation on the beach.
Welcome, Mr. Bond. Very funny.
Look, if the chief is that well connected, he knows who I am and where the money's coming from, which means he's decided to play me anyway. So he's either desperate or he's overly confident, but either way, that tells me something about him. And all he gets in return is a name he already has.
Him using his real name is also brought up in a deleted scene from Casino Royale.
Yes, I thought I saw a spectre at your shoulder.
What do you mean?
Bond is very cocky with his real name and even taunts a Spectre agent right in front of him.
Perhaps you'd like to take the shoe. My friend, you want mine.
Mr.
Bond.
Oh, yes, Mr. Bond. One of my associates spoke about you.
Nothing bad, I hope.
Skyfall clearly shows that James Bond is in fact his real name.
James. James Bond.
Good God. Are you still alive? This is Kincaid. Gamekeeper here since I was a boy.
There are two separate interviews with one of the producers whose family has produced the James Bond movies since 1962, and she confirms that Casino Royale is a reboot. You can start watching now, but if you do not believe everything post Casino Royale is a new rebooted timeline, the rest of the video disproves your belief. In GoldenEye, we have an active duty James Bond being called a Cold War dinosaur by M. This is contradicted when M references the Cold War in Casino Royale with a James Bond that has been freshly promoted to 00 status.
Because I think you're a sexist, misogynist dinosaur. A relic of the Cold War. In the old days, if an agent did something that embarrassing, he'd have the good sense to defect. Christ, I miss the Cold War. I knew it was too early to promote you.
Well, I understand 00s have a very short life expectancy. So your mistake will be short-lived.
The James Bond movies are set in the same year they're released as shown in Casino Royale and Teresa Bond's Grave, that marks her death as the same year that On Her Majesty's Secret Service was released.
Station H. Am I right? Hong Kong?
86 to 97. Back then, I was her favorite. And you're not nearly the agent I was.
This means if Skyfall was in the same universe as the old timeline, James Bond wouldn't be active between 86 and 97, but he is clearly an active agent in A View to Kill, The Living Daylights, and Tomorrow Never Dies.
You never take me to dinner looking like this, James.
Some people believe Skyfall is set after some of the early James Bond movies, but this can't be the case because Moneypenny and James Bond already know each other well from Dr. No, while in Skyfall she has just been introduced.
Well, my name's Eve. Eve Moneypenny.
I look forward to our time together, Miss Moneypenny.
Me too.
Some people point to the Aston Martin DB5 in Skyfall as a connection to the old timeline in Goldfinger, but James Bond wins an Aston Martin in Casino Royale off another character. The gadget references to the Goldfinger DB5 are there because Skyfall is a 50th anniversary movie, so references to the old movies are littered throughout it.